Good morning. I thought I'd just share a letter I received yesterday. It's from my oncologist to the surgeon who done the surgery for my Hartman's procedure, where they removed the tumour. Part of me wish I never received the letter, because up until reading the letter I was staying positive, but doesn't give me much to be positive about, really. I won't read it all. Basically, it says, I've explained to Alan his cancer staging, and given that his adverse features, there is a very high risk of future cancer reoccurrence. Hopefully, adjuvant chemotherapy may reduce this risk. Diagnosis is stage 3C, poorly differentiated sigmoid colon adenocarcinoma, in brackets PT4A, PN2B, M0, 8 out of 22 lymph nodes involved, VRR1, biomarkers awaited, DPYD status awaited. Not sure what most of that even means, but turn the page. That's all my details. Not much there. Apparently we went through all this when I had my appointment, but I certainly don't remember where is it? Half of these words I don't understand what they mean. Confirmation of stage 3C sigmoid colon adenocarcinoma with poorly differentiated disease, serosal perforation, lymph node involvement, extranodal tumour deposits, extramural venous and lymphatic invasion, and direct invasion into adjacent abscess cavity. With all these adverse features, the risk of future disease recurrence is very high. In this situation, there would be a routine recommendation for consideration of adjuvant chemo to reduce the risk of disease recurrence. However, it goes on to say about chemotherapy would be oxaliplatin and either capecitabine or 5-FU. Blah 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 blah. However, as Alan has a PT4A disease, a 6-month course of treatment may provide a slight additional survival advantage of a few percent. That's good to know. The estimated absolute risk reduction is approximately 27%. This means that most patients, 7 out of 10, do not benefit from treatment. That's even better news. Then it goes on about the common side effects: nausea, vomiting, mucositis, diarrhea, fatigue, hand and foot syndrome, and hair thinning rather than hair loss. Not really worried about that. Potentially life-threatening side effects include neutropenic sepsis, thromboembolism, cardiac toxicity, allergic reactions, and rarely kidney damage. There is also a risk of potentially lifelong troublesome nerve damage. That's all something to look forward to. COVID. Given to this information, Alan has agreed to proceed with the Capox chemotherapy, but not once do I remember him saying to me there's well, basically over a 70% chance that the treatment's not going to work. But it has been over a week since I heard from the nurse when they said that they'll contact me about chemo, and obviously the longer the wait goes on, the more concerning it is, especially when you look online and you read things like chemotherapy, they tend to give it to patients who they think that it will work on more the most. So people like me, where there's only like a 27% chance that the chemotherapy could work, will be pushed down the order. So I don't know. Part of me wish I never got this letter in the post yesterday, because up until then I was feeling quite positive. I mean, I still feel okay, a bit tired, but then I did get up at 4 o'clock this morning. But again, I think it's because things are playing on my mind. Plus it's freezing cold. Raining outside, wind outside. Another typical day in Blackpool. But who knows? My wife's trying to stay positive, either that or she's burying her head in the sand. She tends to think this letter means something totally different. I don't see what good news there is out of it. But hey ho. Haven't told any of this to Ralph, but I've got a feeling he'll probably watch the video himself, and he tends to do his own homework. He's telling me about stage 3 cancers, and it's not as bad as stage 4. So I suppose I've just got to get my head around it and then carry on being positive, because if I don't, well, there's nothing no one else can do. It's all up to me, isn't it? And if I crumble, then nothing's going to work. So I need to find my positive attitude again, but it's a bit hard when you're waiting and nothing's happening and the days are going on, and obviously the disease is still inside me and it could be spreading. It might not be spreading, who knows? But with no treatment so far, there's nothing I can do about it. Paracetamol's not going to clear it up. Healthy eating's not going to clear it up. Stop smoking's not going to clear it up. So it's just waiting and then hoping that the chemo does work, hoping that I'm one of the 27%. But what will be, will be. I'm sure we'll get through this one way or another. Okay, anyway, I'll keep you updated. Thanks, bye.